Hello, my biddies. How are you today? I'm a little bit more together today. Take my medicine this morning, and it's too late for that now. Maybe I'll take it after this. What you been up to? Yeah, worst year ever continues. My son was on his way to work yesterday, and the truck in front of him either threw a rock or a piece of ice at his windshield, and it just like so. That's fun. Um, yeah, that's fun. So fun. So now he's down 2 cars because his, girlfriend's car is the reason I don't have a car right now. So fun. So fun. And they both drive at least an hour to work, each of them. So it's easier for me to be without a car because 'cause I'm just here. I am just here at home in my Winnie the Pooh sweatshirt, freezing my butt off because it's literally freezing outside. It was 25 degrees when my husband went to work this morning. So that's fun. Um, I hope your year is better than mine has been because this has literally been the worst year ever. Worst year ever, and it continues. It's December and it's continuing. I can't wait for January to be here because our bad year started last year in January. It started in January and it's continued the whole year, and I'm tired of it. Probably because Trump's president. That's probably why. Blame it. When do you want to blame it on? Blame it on Trump and everything on him. So anyway, I feel like I didn't eat enough for lunch. Now I'm eating Junior Mints. I saw somebody make Junior Mints before. I could probably just eat the inside. I'd be fine. All right, well, I guess we'll get into it. It's been almost 3 minutes. It's only a minute past 12, but still. Like, be on time, people. I'm kidding. I don't care. I don't care. People can tune in whenever they can. I'm usually on for at least 2 hours, sometimes three. Um, and tune in when you can and tune out when you can. It doesn't matter. It's not about the Reddit reads. It's not about the reality roundup. It's about the community. Trying to build a community. Um, maybe it'll help somebody someday. I don't know. That's all I care about. Not about the money. I don't expect to make any money ever. If I do, that'll be fine. I'll get new tires for my car because I got 2-year tires thinking I was going to get a new car next year. I don't see that happening right now. Is my thing okay? Good. I do have sound today. Yeah, sorry about that yesterday. That happens sometimes. I forgot to switch a button. Because YouTube doesn't go to the default microphone. I don't know why. Well, I don't know. Never mind. So I'm going to start with reality roundup. With Balin, I got 2 reality roundups today. I have Balin Outlied and Sister Wives. I was managed to get both done. And then tomorrow I think I'm going to go on, but I'm going to be later in the day. Normally I don't go on at all on Wednesday, but I want to go shopping on Friday. Christmas shopping. I haven't been meaning to Christmas shop. And the day I was going to go Christmas shopping, I gave my car away, which is fine, I guess. Oh, there's a hole in this. I'm going to have to give this back to my daughter and make her fix it. Probably not. It's fine. It's just a little hole. And I don't wear this out anyway. So I don't care. I literally do not care. I thought she bought it at some kind of art thing. art show, but maybe not. I don't care. I don't care where she got it. You know, maybe I'll use 2 bay leaves and not drive. Oh, that guy yesterday, I finally watched his he usually posts, like, over the weekend. He, uploads his stuff over the weekend. Oh, message, sorry. Um, he did the complete I should put that in the show notes. Hold on a second. I'm gonna put the new anti-chef in the show notes because it's hysterical. Um, find it. All right, here we go. Copy. Okay, almost done. All right. So, anti-chef, and I put the video down in the show notes, so you can just click on it and go right there. Um, he did the entire peanuts cooking book cookbook from like the 60s or something. I think he said it took him like 2 or 3 recipes in before he realized it was a cookbook for kids. So that was pretty funny. That my best friend and I love him. He's so funny. He's funny and silly, and cakes are his nemesis. But it's fun to have something, with my bestie to to laugh about and discuss. Um, she likes cooking. I like to pretend I cook. She's a really good cook. She like makes gourmet meals, and they're awesome. I love her cooking, but she'll eat mine. It's not as good as hers though. I think she should go on that Gordon Ramsay show. Oh shoot, what's the competition show? I can't remember. My brain's fried. I used to be able to remember all kinds of stuff. Can't remember anything now. And I couldn't remember anything before. I could my I am a wealth of useless information, but I cannot process it anymore. Which what's it called? Dang it. I hate that. I hate it when I can't think. Why can I not think? MasterChef, that's it. See, it comes to me eventually. Yeah, MasterChef. I think she would do really well on there, but except for the stress, she probably gets shingles. All righty, what are we doing here? I guess we're gonna start with a reality roundup. We're gonna start with Balin out loud. So we open at Balin's parents' house, and Alan wants to know what he has to do with therapy and what's the deal. And he's acting really like a jerk, which he likes to do for some reason. He's like, I don't know why he has to act so intimidating. Like, you don't need to do that. You don't need to be intimidating to your kids. Your kids shouldn't be afraid of you. Your kids should respect you, but they don't need to be afraid of you. There's a difference between respect and being terrified of somebody. A lot of people see fear as respect, and it's not. It's just fear. Balin says that she hates confrontation because she's afraid that her parents will take it as rejection, and there's so much to lose. Like, if you can't confront your parents on something, on a boundary, like it's what they want to do, if you think that they're going to reject you completely and utterly, that's not a good relationship to have with your parents. Makes me sad. It does make me sad. No one should feel like they're going to lose their parents over a disagreement. You can disagree and not threaten your kids. It's ridiculous. And this is why kids are rejecting their parents right now. I wonder, why? This is why. This is why, because you act like this instead of being respectful in return. Your kids also deserve your respect. Do you want to fear your kids? No, you shouldn't fear your kids. Your kids also should not fear you. So he asks what's the deal, and Balin says there's no deal. Colin says they're here that he's there to discuss boundaries, mostly about his career. Um, this is a talking head. He says he understands their concerns, but he needs to make a decision that'll make him happy. And he does. If he's miserable because he makes a safe decision, that will just make him and Balin unhappy, and it will build resentment either between them and the parents, him and her and him. Yeah, it's just a recipe for disaster to not. And this is the perfect time for him to do it. I probably said that later. Colin tells him that he's going to do the real estate and he knows they don't offer health care. And why not? This is nonsense. This is what drives me nuts about this country. I don't understand why every profession doesn't have some kind of a guild, association, union, something that the professionals in that are doing that job in that career can ally together and advocate for themselves and provide services like healthcare, retirement, 401ks. It's so backward. It's so backward. Why are we like this? Why are we doing this? I don't understand it at all. I don't understand why the parents can't see this. This is the perfect time for him to try and see if he can do real estate because there's Balin's still on their healthcare for a couple of years. If he's in a state where he's not making money in a couple of years and they can't afford to go on the exchange to get healthcare, then he can has time to get something else. But he says so. They're worried about steady income and insurance, but they have a steady income. Balin gets paid from doing the show. That's not going anywhere. So it doesn't seem to be going anywhere soon. They seem to have enough conflict to keep it going. Alan says they should have a plan, and Julie says they should set a minimum income. Well, yeah, Colin's smart. He knows what he's doing. And I hope they know that he has classes and training and has to pass tests before he can even start doing this. It's not like you just jump into real estate. There are steps that you have to take before you get there. Maybe he can't even pass a test. Who knows? He seems like a smart enough kid. And I say kid, I'm 60 years old. I'm old enough to be his mommy, so I can say that. Colin says he understands that they need, but that they need that he understands their concerns, but that they need to trust him. Alan says they should be focusing on themselves in therapy and to forgetting about him. Like, dude, you're the main conflict here. Like, what the heck? You are the main conflict. You're the one causing all of the problems. We can't talk about ourselves without talking about you. Julie and Alan felt like the kids were receptive to what they have to say, but that could change. That can always change. She said that could change as soon as they get in the car, and I guess so. Alan says having a backup plan is valid, and Balin agrees. He says he's gonna still feel pressure about it, and then in a talking head, he says he doesn't understand the need for a backup plan because he's not planning to fail. So now he's talking out two sides of the mouth. Like, Colin, you're smarter than this, kid. Come on. You're better than this. Ellen's idea of happiness is having all the things he thinks is important involving providing for his family. And there are other people who have other ideas of happiness that don't involve just things to do with your family. They say they're not trying not to overstep, but they already have. They have overstepped so many times. So we're going back to Balin and Colin, and they're taking a walk to get some exercise in. Balin's afraid of going to the gym because she's germ phobic and afraid of getting sick and having to go to the hospital and dying and all the things. That's got to be hard. So she got a referral from her therapist to a therapist for exposure therapy for OCD, including her germ phobia. She asks Collins if he can think of anything for her to work on, and he suggests her fear of horses because he wants a horse at the wedding. I'm kind of surprised she's afraid of horses because she's such an animal person. You'd think horses would be right up her alley. And I think that if she could make the turnaround with the horses, if that happened, I think that could give her some confidence to tackle some of her other fears. She agrees to the horses, which is good. Well, then we're back at Julie and Alan, and she thinks the kids are clueless about what they need for a wedding. They're not. They were literally just talking about all the stuff they need for the wedding. So she's going to make a list. They already have a wedding coordinator. Do you think the wedding coordinator doesn't make a list? Like seriously, dude. Yeah, the wedding planners are professionals. Let them do their job. It's not your job to make sure she's doing her job, mom. She's the professional and you are not. And this is what I talk about when I talk about them overstepping. Like, this is an overstep. Even if Balin doesn't recognize it as an overstep, it's still an overstep. It's still them inserting things that they have no business inserting. Unless Balin is talking to you directly about it and asks you to do it, don't do it. Don't do it. And they're naming off food, and under that, desserts. And we know that part of the meal Alan likes. Julie talks about the dogs and who's taking care of the dogs when they are trying to Christian the marriage. I think she means consummate, and they take it to mean christening, which is not correct either. You don't christen a marriage. Alan is not comfortable with this discussion at all, but at least he's not making inappropriate sex jokes like Trent would. So good for you, Alan. I'd rather you be uncomfortable about it, and that's fine. I'm talking about your daughter. So I'd rather you be uncomfortable about it than making nasty ass jokes. Then they start talking about Sammy's anxiety and how helpless they feel because she's not local to them. And Julie thinks she needs to concentrate on Sammy right now. Good. Maybe we'll give Balin some room to run a little bit. So the exposure therapist agrees that horses are a good place to start with Balin's phobias. And so Balin has been watching horses on TV since they don't have any real horses for her to like go look at or whatever. That's the first stop is that you get to where you can look at something and then you can do this and then you can do that. Balin's complaining about how massive the horses are. After Colin says they just want to lick her. She's like, they're massive. They have massive tongues. He says they just want to give massive love and she gags. And now we have horsies. I do love a horse. I do love a good horse. They're beautiful. I love them. The doctor says Balin's OCD is rather severe, but she seems really motivated to work on it, and that's a good thing. And they have a distress scale called SUDS that I'd never heard about before, so that's kind of cool. I don't know what SUDS stands for. They said it, but I didn't write it down. But it's just like a basic: how comfortable are you from 0 to how panicked are you really from 0 to 10? So pretty normal stuff. She tells Balin that the goal is to get on a horse in that first session, which it seems really fast to me. So I don't mind. I don't. I'm not surprised that Balin's like panicking right now. And she can't even get close to the horses. They have to like take a couple steps back from the horses once they bring them out. The horses are Sparky and Coco, and she likes Sparky best. Sparky has a mohawk. Sparky is really cute, and he's a little smaller than Coco. So she pets the horse. She gets close enough to pet the horse, and then they have her lead the horse, and she does really good with it. I'm really proud of her. They have her cleaning the hooves and brushing the coats. And in no time at all, she's on the horse and moving. And she did really good. And she loved it. She actually really liked it. Her panic was at a 7 or an 8, but she was really doing it. I think by the time she was really good with it, I think she can conquer her phobias. I think she really can. I think she has learned that horses are nice, and she is such an animal person. I'm not surprised at all. Okay, and then they end it by talking to the wedding planners, which are Shannon and Chris, and there was nothing really major that they're not going to go over again next week. So that's all for Balin out loud. Balin conquered her fear of horses and got to ride a horse. Now I'm kind of jealous because I want to ride a horse right now. Okay, then we're going to go to Sister Wives. We start in New Orleans with Janelle and her entourage. Janelle says she became a polygamist after being exposed to the idea in high school. She prayed about it and she made it into it was a spiritual thing for her. Her mom was not happy. Her mom said no daughter of hers was going to marry into a crazy cult, so she came to save her and then married Cody's dad. That's very cringe to me. Well, she not only didn't save her from the crazy cult, she married into the crazy cult because Cody's dad already had a wife, at least one I know of. She says a lot of the rest of the family distanced themselves from her at that, because she wants to be exposed. Clearly, the crazy cult is catchy. It's like cooties. So I understand if they don't want to be around it, they might get pulled in themselves. Um, so they're chit chatting at the dinner table, and one friend says it was that their whole marriage relationship thing was beautiful at the beginning, and another says Cody has a victim card he likes to play. It was not beautiful at the beginning. We'll get to that later. One of those people are right. One of those women's are right, and one of them is very wrong. And apparently, according to Janelle, Cody did not take well to turning 50. And I have so many typos in that paragraph of 3 lines. So many typos. Um, the food comes out and they're eating garlic flan, and now I want to know what garlic flan is. Anybody gonna make that for me? Then we go to Parowan, where Mary and her friend Amber are going to Vegas, and Mary has signed them up for a dating event, some kind of singles mixer for people 40 to 55. Ron and Mary are still talking. If you don't remember Ron, he was from the speed dating thing, so that's kind of encouraging. Amber says they need to take white t-shirts for the white t-shirt contest, and she definitely means a wet t-shirt contest, and Mary's trying to convince her that it's a wet t-shirt contest. It's not a white t-shirt contest, Amber. It's a wet t-shirt contest. And then they have a conversation about the eggplant emoji that I'm not going to get into. Then they discuss Cody. And this conversation is as boring as Mary wants her romance to be, meaning super boring. Christine and her tribe are going bowling. Isabel says she thinks bowling is boring, but spending time with the family is worth sucking it up. And that's the thing. If you think something is boring and your friends or your family want to go do that thing anyway, go with them. It's not about the activity, it's about the conversation. It's about the community. It's about the fellowship. It's about being with people that love you. I've always done that. I've always sucked it up and gone. Usually I have a really good time. Um, and that's what this place is about. It's not about the Reddit reads. It's not about this stuff. It's about the community. Come and join us. David says that he can get Truly to snap out of a bad mood by being sarcastic with her. David genuinely seems very fun. And Isabel says David is respectful and doesn't overstep his role as a father figure. And she doesn't talk to her dad, and they're not close, but she still loves him. And then we go to Cody and Robin talking about Cody's apology tour. He says he feels shame about Coyote Pass and how all that happened. Well, you should. He seems to think that they should talk that the other wives just talk and think about him all the time. I'm sure that they don't, Cody. I am sure that their day-to-day lives do not involve one thought of you until somebody else brings it up. Robin says he shouldn't be so hard on himself. Or Cody. So hard on himself. And that his hurt was normal. Well, his hurt may be normal, but how he acted about it was not. Then we cut back to New Orleans, which is way more fun than Robin and Cody. One friend said she'd want to be besties with her sister wives, and another said she'd be too jealous to even think about doing it. Janelle said she thought she was going to be besties, but she and Mary did not mesh well from the start. Remember what I said about it wasn't great from the start? Wasn't great from the start. She never had an exit plan because you don't. Um, One friend asked if she would be willing to try counseling to fix things with Cody and Robin. She immediately says, "Nope, I don't like them." So she talks again about the marriage release thing, and I honestly, I think she just wants some type of closure, and that's okay. That's fine if that's what she needs. Um, if she needs that for closure, that's perfectly fine. Good for her for recognizing that she wants some kind of closure because she's not getting a divorce. You get a divorce, you get the paperwork, and that's your closure, kind of. It says that the relationship is over, and she doesn't have that because they never got legally married. They just have this religious marriage thing. So then they go throw beads off a balcony, as one does in New Orleans, and guys are actually flashing them. It's kind of funny. Oh. We're back to Mary and Amber in Vegas, and they got a charcuterie board and are doing champagne and wine and stuff. And Amber asks if she'd ever like date a guy named Cody again, and of course she says no. She said she'd pass on any man named Cody, but also anyone named David because of Christine's David. And like, if you're avoiding Davids, that's a lot of men your age, Mary. A lot. Um, a lot. And that's kind of silly. Like, just because there's a David that's married to Christine doesn't mean you can't marry another Dave. You just have Christine's David and Mary's David. I mean, there are my brother-in-laws are married to a woman who has the first name as his sister. It happens sometimes. My niece's half brother is married to a woman with my niece's name. It happens sometimes. It's not it's not too much. They're different people with the same name. They're different people. She also says that polygamy is not an option, and those two are kind of boring, to be honest. So then we cut back to Cody and Robin. Robin says she doesn't want to influence him about the apology tour. I guess he wants to apologize for telling them he never loved them, which we all knew was a lie. He was he's a liar. Either he did or he didn't, and who knows. Um, Robin says that really did affect her because she was afraid that she was being misled. She had been misled the whole time, which she has been. Cody says he took a knife and swung it so hard that he cut himself. And now he wants to be more benevolent. It's like, what do the two of those things have to do with each other, Cody? Nothing. Just because you're so mad you can't control your own actions because of your own stupidity doesn't mean you have stupidity, more stupidity. It's just more and more stupidity with him. Cody says he's not an asshole, but he has asshole potential. No, Cody, you are an asshole. He says if his apology is not accepted, he's going to be a bulldozer in what he wants to accomplish. See, that's being an asshole. Ugh. No one has to accept your apology, Cody. You can apologize all you want. No one has to accept it. If you have not done the steps to deserve the apology, no one has to accept it. So we cut to Janelle at Maddie's house, and Cody has contacted her about going out to dinner. And said that he wants to extend an olive branch. Maddie seems skeptical, reasonable. Do you think he wants something, or do you think he wants to extend an olive branch, is what she says. Cody says she's not sure, and that was strange. And have you met Cody? He is strange. Cody is the very definition of strange. Maddie suspects that the reason he's doing that is because, quote, he's not in your life anymore, and now he wants to put himself back in your life. And I mean that she could have a real good feeling there. That could be true. Janelle suspects that it has to do with the relationships with kids, and she says, "You don't need me. We're not friends. I'm not going to facilitate for you." She asked Maddie about letting him back into her life, and she says she's open to reconciliation, forgiveness, and disclosure. But if he wants back into her life, there would need to be a pattern of consistency. And that's reasonable. That's reasonable. If he wants to have a relationship with Maddie, he has to make it consistent. Um, Janelle tells Maddie that they have had to talk during the whole Coyote Pass fiasco, and that he called her on Garrison's death anniversary and his birthday, Garrison's birthday. And so she seems to think everything could be okay, but she really doesn't want anything to do with him. Maddie is now less skeptical and says maybe he really does just want to extend an olive branch, and says, so then he can walk you down the aisle at your next wedding. And Janelle says, no, no, not going to happen. Yeah, I'm with you there, Janelle. So we're back in Vegas where Amber and Mary are discussing whether they need more therapy before they get into new relationships because they may not have dealt with the things they thought they dealt with. And Mary feels like her whole relationship with Cody was a lie, and I can understand that feeling. And then we cut to Cody in North Carolina. I can't believe it. He's left the entire family behind. What's up with him? I thought they needed him. He's not ready to apologize to Mary or Christine yet because um so he's only gonna apologize to Janelle. Like, silly. I probably don't want to talk to you anyway, Cody, so it doesn't matter. Janelle's the only one that even wants anything to do with you. Well, actually, she doesn't even want anything to do with you. She's just willing to put up with your nonsense. He says that he thought the women viewed him as a hero, but then they said he was an asshole, and then his answer to that was, "You're the asshole." No, Cody, you're the asshole. You've always been the asshole. You are 120,000% the asshole. He thought before he got divorced, he thought everyone liked him. No, they just pretend to put up with you in public because they're polite. He's an idiot. This guy's the biggest narcissist I've ever seen. He says it's easier to go ask Janelle for forgiveness because there's less toxicity. So there's much less for him to forgive. So it's easier for him to ask for forgiveness. What kind of sense does that make? You're not going to forgive her at all. You're not haven't forgiven any of them anything. And then after that, he says some things, and they all seem to be the right things, but I'm skeptical. And it's to be continued next week. And that's Reality Roundup for today. Let's erase all of this. I don't keep these at all. And I think I have another Little Johnston's for tomorrow. And I mentioned tomorrow yet? I'll mention tomorrow later. All right. And I guess we'll get into our Reddit reads. And this is from Am I a Jerk, entitled AITJ for refusing to run the office birthday fund anymore after people kept Venmo ghosting me. No. I work in a mid-sized office, mix of remote and in-person. Years ago, I made a cute card for a teammate, and suddenly I became the birthday person. HR loved it because it looked like culture. Managers loved it because they didn't have to think, and people generally nodded and moved on. The routine turned into a monthly hustle. I would collect $5 from 20 folks to order a cake, write the card, and remind everyone to sign it and then present it. Most months ended with me fronting the money because 3 or 4 people said they would send it late and then forgot. This year got worse. We had 4 new hires and a couple of departures, so the list changed all the time. I built a small spreadsheet and a group chat so folks could choose in or out. Clear yes or no. What actually happened was 13 versions of maybe and hit me next week. I left my wallet at my desk at home. Meanwhile, the bakery wanted payment up front. The card needed buying. I was now the person holding a bag of sugar and a pile of IOUs. Sorry. 2 weeks ago, I tried a new rule. If money is not in by noon the day before, you are marked out and your name is not on the card. That seems fair. I posted the rule in chat and pinned it. Payday comes. 6 people still not paid. I closed the list, bought a smaller cake. The party was fine. The birthday person smiled and slices were enough. Then the messages started. A manager pinged me that I should have covered the shortfall to keep the team spirit. No! Oh, that's such BS. Actually, The manager should be fronting this, and it should be a company expense. Two workers said I embarrassed them by not writing their names since they had planned to pay that night. Well, you were given the deadline. One person even asked me to put $5 on my corporate card like it was office supplies. What the heck? No, not unless she's authorized to do that. I told them I'm done running the fund. If the team wants cake, and anyone can coordinate it, or we can do a once a quarter treat that the company buys. HR says there's no budget and called the fund purely voluntary. Now some folks say I'm being petty and ruining a nice tradition. I feel used. I did the math and I'm out 120 for all the bits that never got paid back. I do not want to chase grown adults for coffee money. My partner says I should stick to the boundary and let the whole thing die if no one steps up. AITJ for pulling the plug after trying to set simple rules. No. If people can't follow the simple rules, and those are really simple rules, then no. No, no, no. You're good. You're good. They can't follow the rules and then they complained about it. This is what happens when you don't follow the rules and then you complain about it. The person that's taking the brunt of it doesn't do it anymore. So now what you going to do? No, somebody else needs to take it up. If somebody else wants to do it, they can do it. And she can be late with her payment or not at all. It's really not that hard, people. Come on. Toots New York City says a manager pinged me that I should have covered the shortfall to keep the team spirit. That quote. That manager should be covering this shortfall on his or her expense report. I'd take that message from them up to HR and ask them about it. That's horrendous. I also think that it's time for the tradition to end. You did need a super majority for those things to work, and people are indicating that they don't want to. Yeah, really. I just saw a hair. That was annoying. I don't know if that was it or not. Um, Aggravating alarm says they are fun when there is a team of people doing it and a company but paid budget. Yes. When there's a team of people, you have this person do it this month, that person do it that month. Do they not have a big enough office that people have multiple monthly birthdays? Because that seems wild that they would not have multiple birthdays in one month. Parties like OP are describing are nothing more than a hassle. The usually one person gets stuck with the bill. Yeah. And that's not fair. If management wants a team spirit so bad they can spirit their way to the bakery themselves, no one signs up to be the unpaid office mom. You did your time, let it die in peace. Yep. Ellen Sundays says, "You're a woman, aren't you? Women are expected to do this thing. Keep your boundary." Yep, for sure. And unsolicited dad advice. Unsolicited advice. Oh, not solicited advice. Unsolicited dad advice would be a good name. NTJ, don't use your own money for something everyone's supposed to be contributing to. Keep the message of the manager asking you to use personal funds for business reasons if the team spirit is that important. Yeah, no kidding. All right. Next we have um, entitled people. Entitled, should I apologize for killing 3 people? I would say yes. I would say yes. A 34-year-old driver in Brooklyn was driving at 68 miles an hour in a 25. Holy cow. Um, $12,000 in outstanding fines, 20 speeding tickets, and driving on a suspended license. So they shouldn't even been on the road. Once on a single trip, she blew at least one red light before running a second, hitting a car, and then running over a mother crossing the street with her 3 kids. Only a 4-year-old survived, but with skull fractures and brain bleed. Oh my God, that poor family. In a recorded jail line, she told somebody, "Why should I apologize? I'm as much of a victim as they are." No, you are not. You did this on purpose. You knew what you were doing. They didn't. All they were doing was innocently crossing the street. You were in a vehicle. Given a lenient sentence of 3 to 9 years for 3 counts of second-degree manslaughter. She pushed for more leniency, letting the court think she thinks about the people she killed, and that's punishment enough. She don't think anything about those people she killed. Guarantee she don't think anything about them. They do not cross her mind. My friends are toys is a top comment and says, well, today's sentence is shorter than the maximum we recommend. It sends a clear message that reckless driving will be vigorously prosecuted and meet with serious consequences. Where did you get that? Maybe there was another link somewhere. No, it effing does not send the message you think it does. A shorter side of 3 to 9 years tells people that they can murder 3 people, cause extensive property damage, and rack up double-digit tickets and thousands of dollar fine and get a slap on the wrist. Yes, exactly. Same with child molesters. Pig and Palm says that sentence is the opposite of vigorously prosecuted and met with serious consequences. That's a slap on the wrist with a wet bus ticket. She'd be home in less than 2 years, while our victims' families will never truly recover from this. That's the thing. When you harm people like this, you harm them for life. Unless you get a life sentence, your consequences are nowhere near theirs. Next, we have malicious compliance, entitled A 10-Minute Favor. Oops, I keep forgetting to push my button. A 10-minute favor versus thousands euro bill. Okay. Once at a company where I worked as an architect, I used the company's laptop Photoshop to make my daughter's birthday invitation. It took maybe 10 minutes. My boss saw it in the recent files while we were reviewing a project together and told me the computer was for work only. I just said, okay, because, well, what else was I going to say? That same week, I traveled to another city to survey a building. I did everything with tape measure and laser the company provided. When I got back home, he asked if I'd already downloaded the photos because he wanted to see the inside of the building. I told him I hadn't taken any photos since my phone was personal. He was furious on the inside but couldn't show it because months earlier I had asked the company for a work phone and they had refused. The next day, a brand new Samsung appeared on my desk, and off I went again to the same city to take the photos with the company, paying for flights, hotel, and the doubled expenses. Good for you. Yeah, if you can't use your computer for a little project on your work, probably not even on work time, probably on his lunch period or even at home, then they have no reason to use your personal stuff. Really, if they're insisting that you use your personal phone, they should be providing you with a phone in any circumstance. And yes, I've worked with places where I had to use my own dang phone for communication purposes. IT Rabbit says that's malicious compliance. Well done. Successful Pop says, imagine the irony of bending rules and getting rewarded with a new phone. No, he didn't bend the rules. He strictly applied the rules that they were insisting that he adhere to. He just applied them back. Just traumatized them back. All right. Our next read is from AITAH. AITA for refusing to give my coworker their office back now that work from home has been canceled. Back in 23, a woman, Jen, in my building left for maternity leave. After having her child, Jen took advantage of our company's work from home program, which left her office open. I placed a request for the space with my manager and was given the go, so I got to leave my crappy cubicle for my very own private office. My employer has announced that work from home will end on the 17th of November. All employees will be back in the office by that date. Yeah, that sucks. I know. Yesterday, work from home employees came for tours and desk assignments. When Jen saw I was in her office, she became agitated and asked if I'd be leaving so she could take back over. I told her flatly that I had no intent on giving up the office. That could get the company in some trouble. Jen spoke with the manager, and the manager's immediate decision was that I was under no obligation to move out of the office. I was approached and asked if I had any interest in returning to a cubicle, and I said no. There was no follow-up from my manager or HR, as they both see the matter closed. Yeah, but she was on maternity leave when she left, and so she's supposed to be giving back her space, giving back her like um, job back when she gets back. Now, just a day later, I'm getting stink from coworkers thinking I'm punishing Jen for something outside of her control. Jen has also emailed me asking to consider the position she's in and that she's already being punished by the company by being compelled to return to the building and asked me to consider her feelings. Well, that's kind of ridiculous. Don't do that. Don't do that either. Everybody sucks here. Sincerely, I definitely understand how much this sucks for her and everyone else being forced back, but I like having my own office. And I have a lot of stuff in here that I'd otherwise have to carry home. Oh, poor you. I'd be giving up the privacy that I become adjusted to, and if I'm being honest, I actually enjoy having a nice window to look out and none of the noise of the cubicles. Am I AITA on this? Edit. So someone, a few people really, brought up that I hadn't considered was a question that if I vacated the office, would that necessarily mean Jen would have it back? On Monday, my manager approached me about returning to a cubicle to verify my lack of interest, but this morning I checked with the HR policy. Sure enough, you cannot simply choose someone to give your office to, as the office assignments are selected by policy. The office would go into the pool if I vacated, which means Jen would be competing with everyone else over it. How do you do that? How do you even determine that? That's craziness. Several of the work from home people who have returned are more senior than her, and at least one of them is definitely interested in the next bidding that come up, for Jen would be out of luck. HR is going to circulate a reminder on the office building bidding policies. I also brought up the email with my manager who stated she will reply to it and CC in Jen's manager to ensure that there's an understanding in that matter, and this matter should be considered closed. It just seems like a weird way to run an office. Henwin says, is there a reason Jenny had the office high position that required privacy for calls and meetings? If there's no work reason for her to have the office and you and your boss are not telling you that you have to move, just stand your ground. And the OP says, my company is weird. We have 15 non-managerial offices. When one becomes available, you may bid on one, and whoever has the most seniority and best performance metrics wins the office. It should be just seniority, probably. Generally, one or two offices becomes available every year, either because of promotions or turnover. So Jen and I are no different than anyone else in the cubicles. When it became available, I got it because I had asked, and the seniority and metrics won over everyone else who placed a request. Okay. Still seems like a weird way to run an office to me. Why are there so many non-managerial offices? Okay, this one says it's not safe for work, but it's just words. And it's talking about breasts, so if you have a problem with that, skip this part. This is from Just No Mill. Why is my mother obsessed with my breasts? And it's a rant. It's flared as a rant. And they're ambivalent about advice. This first started when I was 8. I remember very clearly because we only lived in that house for 12 months. She was in the kitchen talking to my grandmother about my boobs and called me over. She proceeded to pull down my shirt to show my grandmother my naked chest. FFS, they weren't even breasts back then. It was just a chubby little kid. Yikes. That's abusive. That's like sexual abuse right there. Since then, she would bitch about how big they were. I do have a large chest and make ridiculous comments and stupid jokes about my bra size. Can relate, girl. How expensive my bras must be, how my boobs looked in a t-shirt I was wearing, how I wouldn't be able to wear certain item because my boobs wouldn't fit it, etc. Yep, I've heard all of that. It became exhausting. My teenage years were particularly hellish. And yet somehow it's gotten worse in recent years because I've been on a weight loss journey, which has been a whole other thing to her, but I won't get into that. As you may know, when you lose weight, the boobs are the first to go. That is true. I've had chronic back pain and disc damage from carrying the weight on my breasts. Oh my goodness. So when I started losing cup sizes, I was ecstatic, and I don't blame her. Losing bra sizes was one of the major motivators for losing weight, but of course, my mother's comments are, "Oh, you've lost so much boob. Your boobs have gotten smaller. I can't believe how much your boob you've lost." Don't talk about people's boobs, man. Especially as a parent. Ew. As if I hadn't somehow noticed. I have actually said to her more than once, "It's effing fantastic." But today she showed up at my brother's house while I was visiting. I don't visit her anymore for many, many reasons. But almost right away, because she's abusive. Almost right away, she started in with the comments. They've gotten smaller. What size are you? You look smaller. Mine are bigger now, which I gray rocked like normal. But then when I didn't take the book, she reached out and pulled down my effing shirt. Again, abuse, assault, and battery at that. Let me be very clear. I'm damn near 40 years old, and this ogre of a woman seems to think she has some right of access to my effing body whenever she pleases. Nope, not today. Not no effing way. I slapped her hand away and told her not to effing touch me. Of course, she tried to play the victim and had a sook about it. Okay. I've never heard that, but I wasn't having it. I've just got maybe she meant sulk. I don't know. I got up and left the room. I told my brother and sister-in-law I was going home because I wasn't going to sit there and let her undress me. Then I took my kids and left without bothering to say goodbye. But that comment has been annoying me all afternoon. Mine are bigger than yours now, and it finally dawned on me. Just when I think my opinion of her can't get any lower, I realize she's been jealous of my body since I was 8 effing years old. It's not even mother-in-law, it's her own mother. That should go on Untitled Parents or something. Character Goat says people like her are so insecure that everything becomes a competition. They aren't whole real people, so they can't see anyone else as a whole real person. They see stepping stones and competitors even when they're looking at their kids. Yeah, the whole real people thing is really bad, especially if you're in a fundamentalist religion. A lot of women don't see themselves as whole people, and then when they deconstruct and get out of it, they realize that they were a whole person the whole time. It's really disconcerting. Weird nice. I think it's supposed to be weirdness, but it's spelled wildly. My mom literally got a boob job because she was jealous of me when I was a teenager, among a lot of other extremely creepy things as a result of her competing with her own kid. I completely cut her out of my life, and mine are still bigger, so it turned out fine. Yeah, that is so bizarre. Like, they just get in the way as a person who is well endowed myself. They just get in the way. It's not a big deal. They're annoying more than anything else. They're just there to feed babies, and that's it. And almost any size can feed a baby. Even the teeny, teeny, tiny ones can feed a baby. That's all they're there for. This is from Server Life, and it's entitled She Needed It More. I set up a 10 in my section, which then turned into a 6. Yeah, wait till it turns into a 2. It turned into a 5. It was 20-something girl's birthday. I'm pretty sure all her friends canceled on her. It was just her and family. Everything went great at the table, no issues with food, and drink all came out correctly. They didn't want dessert, so I bought a scoop of ice cream with a sparkler. My restaurant is very expensive, and they only got 4 entrees for 5 people, and the bill was $400. $400 for 5 people, and they didn't even get 1 entree. I dropped the check assuming the parents would have paid. They kind of talked about the check like for 15 minutes. The birthday girl put her on her credit card, and they basically ran out after paying. That poor girl. You should not have to pay for your own birthday meal. What are we doing here? Especially when your parents are there. I always pay for my kids. Sometimes I pay for my dad when it's his birthday. He pays for me when it's my birthday. It's fine. It evens out. 0 tip on the check, and I wasn't even mad. I just felt sorry for her. She needed it more than me. I was happy to serve her on her birthday. I hope she gets better friends and someone who can treat her in the future on her birthday, and also be more responsible if this isn't the type of place you can afford. Can you afford if this isn't the type of place you can afford that should be going, but I think it shouldn't be going. Um, yeah, so wow. I can't believe the parents didn't at least pay for hers. She should not be having to foot the bill for her own birthday. That's horrible. Warmain says it all comes out in the wash. Your attitude about this situation will be rewarded tenfold. Yeah. Wow. That is just horrible. I feel so sorry for that girl. Just a girl says, "You are very kind, but it was crappy of them. How would they have paid the bill if the tent had actually shown up?" And um, More Maiden said, I expect they would have intended to split it. Yeah. I cannot believe that those parents didn't pay for her and themselves. That's just horrible. This is from Petty Revenge. I got shoved into a pool by my aunt's friend, so I sprayed him with a water gun, making him furious. I mean, what do you expect to happen, dude? Today we were invited to my aunt's house for Thanksgiving to celebrate since we like visiting her. After I finished eating our Thanksgiving meal, we all went to the pool except for this one guy, let's call him Greg, who is always invited to my aunt's house since she feels that bad that nobody invites him. There's probably reasons for that. After eating, I changed into my bathing suit and I started walking over to the pool where Greg was sitting on a chair. But he decided to stand up and sneak up behind me, shoving me into the pool very hard, causing me to fall. After this, I decided to get a little payback, so I found a water gun that my friend had and loaded it. When Greg came back, I sprayed him with the water gun and he started yelling at me at the top of his lungs, calling me a piece of crap and how he pushed me as a joke and I ruined his clothes even though he started it and I barely know him. Um, it's just a joke. It's just a joke to be squirted by a water gun. It's just a joke too. He proceeded to complain to my mother and my aunt about what happened, and everyone started laughing at him for being stupid. Then he lost it and just sat down watching football for the rest of the day while glaring at me every time he saw me. Uh, the Glorical says, F Greg. I completely agree. Moniac says, I don't see how that would help, but if you insist. And the original commenter says, it's a dirty job. Oh, all right. Now it's time for expectation versus reality, which we all love, right? We all love it. Yes. Um, so they made holiday chocolate pine cones. So this is what they're supposed to look like. They're very cute. I mean, that's cute. And this is what they got. Well, that's not bad at all. That actually almost looks more realistic than the original. They're very cute. Good job. It says, unfortunately, they tasted horrible, and after hours and hours of work, no one ate them. But I did get asked by quite a few people why I even had real pine cones on the floor on the food table. Oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. They did look more realistic than the originals. Um, Inevitable Rhubarb says, "Are these individually placed cocoa pebbles?" And the user says, or the original thing says, "Painfully so." uh, Tisk Destiny says, "It's a lot of work, but it's really good that it paid off. It looks like a real pine cone," and they are right. It does. It looked like a real pine cone. That was excellent. Excellent work. All right, it's that time of the day. If you have not already, please like, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. I try to go live at least 4 times a week, usually about noon Eastern time. If you have a story of your own or come across a good one in the wild, please send us an email entitled Submission. If you would like an email link to the current day's lives, send an email entitled Subscribe. The email is biddybrunchbunch, all one word, at gmail.com. And the email address is also in the description. And please like, share, share with everyone you know, even if you don't like them. Maybe they'll learn some things and be a better person. Never know. People can learn from other people's mistakes. All right, and then we have Zillow Gone Wild, of course. It says $43 million worth of circles. And it's in the mountains above Provo, Utah. And of course, we got to share because it's picturey. It looks like almost like a hobbit house. It's very cute. I like the little circly house. The door's still square or rectangle. The door's still rectangle. Oh, that's cool. Oh my goodness, that is beautiful. Look at that. Yeah, I would buy this house if I had $1 billion. That's really cool too. Nice little I would make it into a reading area. Ditch the table, put in a put in an end table and comfy recliner. I have to have my feet up. I have to have my feet up all the time except for when I'm doing this. Very beautiful. The scenery is just gorgeous. Well, that's very cute. Is this like a room up here? What is this up here? I don't understand what that is. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. Put a TV so that's my uncle. My uncle and aunt used to have a round bed. It was like a literally round bed, and it was almost like a half clamshell above the bed, kind of like this a little bit. Um, and it had a TV in it, a little tiny black and white TV. And us kids thought that was the best thing ever. And I don't know where they got it. They were strange people. Even the fireplace is round. How can you not love this house? They have a round end table. They have a round couch. When they sit around the house, they sit in the round house. Even the ceiling's roundy. Look at that. A round dining room. That is really cool. That is a really cool house. I'm gonna have to check more of that um out later. I will put the listing. It does have the listing, so I'm gonna put that in the description down here. It for your convenience. And then I'm saving that one for later because I will look at it. I like looking at real estate. Okay, and this is from Traumatize Them Back, entitled Sister Claims She Was the Victim, Didn't Know Coworker Was My Friend. And this is flared as petty revenge. Twofer. A twofer. My sister is very mentally unstable, lies constantly, often for no reason. She had multiple jobs in fast food because she's a failure to launch, and my own hard work and resilience have had an okay life. Fast food jobs don't make you a loser, but she believes it does because of her grandiosity. Legit, she would say things like, I should be the artistic one. Show me how to draw. When I got braces as an adult because my career allowed me to afford it, she said, well, I would be prettier if I had them. You have straight teeth now. Mine aren't even that bad, but I should have gotten them. People like this are weird. So weird. I had my son. Somehow I had a snowy white redheaded baby. My sister is redhead with a different dad. She says he should have been my son. This was before my no contact and after this whole situation happened, if, if that makes sense. Yeah, she's terrifying and gross. At her job, she told coworkers stories about how I, the youngest sister, was a bully and spoiled and always getting her in trouble. Typical pity me stories, when in reality, she was the golden child. Well, I mean, all younger kids are spoiled, aren't they? I mean, that's just how it goes. Parents have more money, the youngest kids get spoiled more, especially if the older kids are leaving. The youngest kid gets the advantage of that. She was lying for the spotlight, I guess. In reality, my siblings bought her first car. Her cell phones were bought. She was put on siblings' family plans, but I wasn't. And it's truly comical how singled out I was by my family. She told her coworkers how she would have bruises and wouldn't go to school some days because of how her mother beat her. I was the beaten one. When my sister edged into the territory about how I lied about being molested, a coworker stopped her. That was my best friend at the time. We were college besties and talked every day. She knew my sister was my sister because my BFF had told me someone by the same last name as me started working there. I confirmed that we were related and to not talk about me because I wanted my privacy. I'd been living on my own with my degree and career in my field, and I didn't want my sister asking my bestie about me. With a grin, she says, that's insane. You're username sister, right? Let me call her. My BFF called me on her on shift. I can't remember what I was doing, but I picked up because no one talks on the phone, and I feared someone had died or my BFF was in jail somehow. She tells me what's going on, and I'm speechless. Well, that's interesting. I have proof. Let me send you a link. What my dearest big sister didn't know is that I'm also crazy. I was in college. When I was in college, I still lived at home. When I was in college, I had a smartphone. In college, I started taking videos out of fear. No one, I know I never called the cops on my mother and sister. I don't know why. But I thought if I died, the police would find my phone so my sister and mother couldn't get away with it, I guess. I had a Google Drive. I had photos. I had videos of them screaming at me, photos of my stuff being destroyed. Not even Bestie knew I had this. She just knew I wasn't a liar bot. I texted Bestie the link. Bestie pulled it up. Didn't click the videos as far as I know, but the pictures of my fat lip and bruised shoulders and broken stuff was enough. My sister was outed and humiliated on the spot. Insane part is she didn't quit out of embarrassment. She stayed at that job until she was caught stealing from the register and offered a 16-year-old employee liquor while my sister was nearly 30. Everyone hated her. I was told that sister tried saying I did that to myself, etc. She tried to apply for other fast food jobs but couldn't get hired. I like speculating that people were connected through friendship somehow and that this incident had something to do with it. As of 2025, my sister is 38, lives at home not by choice, is bankrupt, and can't have a bank account because of the debt she accumulated from being involuntarily committed for physically assaulting a coworker. The compulsive lying bit her in the ass in a matter of minutes and likely sabotaged her life. I'm happily married, relationship of 11 years, kids, house, picket fence, and cats. I always wanted to have a cat. God is good, karma is sweet, and the traumatized has traumatized the traumatizer. Wow. Well, good for your sister. Good for your sister, LP. I hope she has a lovely life that she deserves. Loveliest life she deserves. I don't know why all of these are suddenly not safe for work. um, so it looks like this is about Crohn's disease, so you know how that goes. So if you're sensitive, you might want to dip out. This is from subreddit confession entitled I'm going commando to work for 12-hour shift today because of Crohn's. That doesn't really sound like a good idea. Not safe for work, just to be safe. I'm a guy with Crohn's. Usually I have my crap under control, but I was asked to cover a coworker shift today and it has to start at an earlier time than my regular routine. I was worried and ultimately I was right to be. I have a 30-minute bus ride to work. When I left, I had the slight feeling of needing to crap. 15 minutes later, I was hunched over, trying desperately not to crap my pants. I knew I wouldn't be able to make it, so I got off at the first open bathroom. Thankfully, it was a coffee shop, so the bathroom was nice. I didn't quite make it. I just a little came out in my boxers. I had to make a very tough decision. Do I try to wipe it off? Do I go back home being late? Do I just call in from embarrassment? I decided to go with none of the above and just threw away my underwear. And now I'm going to work commando. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Even those of us who don't have Crohn's disease can be in that situation every once in a while. And you just have to let the undies go sometimes. Best Dream says, to be honest, I've had a pair of emergency underwear in my backpack for 3 years. In remission now and due to Remicade, Remicade. I'm assuming that's a good medication, but not going to give up that security blanket. Don't blame her. I can't imagine having to deal with that all the time. It's bad enough when it's once in a while. Having to deal with that on a regular basis, it's got to be like no fun at all. OP answered, I did for all of high school and some of college, but it's been 6 years since my last incident, so I thought I'd be fine. I'm honestly a little torn up about this because thought I had things under control. Guess not. I mean, probably should have gotten off the first stop that you could have. Yeah. I'm sorry, OP. I'm sorry you're having to deal with that. Sucks. They really need to find a cure for that. And you find a cure for a lot of things. I mean, what are we even doing? Loss of hair, you can cure that, but you can't cure Crohn's and you can't cure EDS and you can't cure all kinds of other stuff. In EDS, I don't mean um, eating disorders. So, interesting. This is from Interesting AF. This couple took their G class on a 20-year road trip through 177 countries, and they have pictures, so we shall share. And it is interesting. So they're in the desert with their little car, sleeping in the desert. They went to the pyramids. That looks like it could be Athens, Greece. Could be Greece somewhere. So they're not captioned, so. Okay, now they're in Africa somewhere with monkeys. Those could be. No, those are monkeys. They have tails. I think monkeys have tails. Monkeys have tails, right? And then primates don't. Uh, Looks like he's taking out more than just the tire. I think he's probably putting new brakes in. I don't know where this is, but it's got giant boulders. Maybe Iceland. I don't know. That looks like the Middle East somewhere. That could be the Middle East or Africa. It's hard to tell sometimes. Um, Mountains. Something about 500. Oh, I think they probably hit a 500,000 mile in their car. Now they're with camels, and they have a little hammock hooked up to a big rock. Oh, I think they might have gotten stuck in that mud and go. Yeah, okay, now you've got me. I ain't doing this. I'm not doing this one. I am not going over that bridge. That bridge looks scary. I might be I might be driving down into it. I'll just drive into the gully and back out. They went to Zimbabwe in a little car, and another one of the first one, and their sleeping quarters. Well, they're in Paris, viewing the Eiffel Tower. Now their car is on a ship going somewhere and being taken off the ship or on the ship. I don't know. Couldn't tell by this picture. Now they're in North Korea. They went to North Korea. Braver than I am. I would never. Camels, something that looks kind of pig-like, and kangaroos for the next 96 kilometers. They're in Australia. Went to the Sydney Opera House. Uh, they're driving with the cows. The cows are not staying on their own side of the road this time. I'm not sure where that is, but it's beautiful. In Africa, I don't know who that is. I am partially face blind, so it's definitely some leader in Africa, but I don't know which one. Oh no. Oh no. It's in a ditch on its side. The car's in a ditch on its side. Well, I guess they fixed it. Got back on the road. Now they look like this is probably China, is my guess. They went to a Mercedes-Benz museum. Their car now says the world record tour on it. Good for them. That sounds like a great time. I'm glad they could do that. Oh, met this guy. So let's try this again. Says met this guy in Lilongwe, Malawi, back in 2013. He was doing repairs and had a full garage worth of spare parts and tools on the roof rack. I remember him telling me about his North Korea visit, which apparently he got approval from Kim Jong Un Kim Jong Il himself. Pretty cool to see them on Reddit. Well, that's neat. Small world. Next we have Am I the A-hole? AITA for telling my friends to get effed. I, 29, female, 29 year. Should put a Y in it. Why? Why put a Y? Why? I, 29 female, love to cook. I cook all kinds of stuff: tofu, chicken, soup, sausage, Asian, Mexican, Italian, etc. I love to make things from scratch. Two examples was a tofu kick I made my own from raw soybeans. Was on a chalupa kick, but they're $7 each. WTF Taco Bell. No kidding. So I made my own fry bread and toppings, etc. I love to bake Christmas cookies and make little treats. Anyways, all this to explain that I made a lot of pride in making food. I love to feed people. My two closest friends, 21 female and 25 female, crap on me every time I make something that isn't chicken tenders, basically. They don't appreciate you. I'll come eat your food. I made chicken gnocchi soup and one tells me it looks like it has bugs in it. I make tofu stir fry and the other tells me it looks like poop from a butt. They know it bothers me and still continue to do it. Maybe they're just teasing and she's not appreciating it, but they should stop. It's not like I force them to eat the food. I did make the 21-year-old try tofu once. Not even the dish posted above, which I admit didn't look how I wanted it to, even if it was delicious. I mean, yeah, sometimes like your sense of sight is part of your sense of taste. Sometimes you just gotta taste something. You just gotta taste it. See if you like it. If you don't think you like it, you need to taste it. And if you grew up not liking it, you need to taste it. You need to keep tasting things. Your taste buds change. Your taste buds change like every 7 years. So keep trying stuff. Or you had a bad cook. Or you had a bad cook growing up. Had this discussion on Reddit yesterday myself. Sometimes your mom isn't the best cook. And the things that you think you like if they're cooked well, like steaks, green beans, etc. Today, I woke up to a Facebook post of them publicly mocking me about my food is only meant for starving orphans. So I told them to both get effed now, and now I'm the dramatic one. AITA. Edit to add the gnocchi soup recipe since so many people want it. LOL. Highly recommend adding some sausage and or sun-dried tomatoes and serve with crusty bread. And she has a soup recipe. Chicken marsala gnocchi soup. That sounds good. No, you're NTA. Not, no. Your friends suck. Get new friends. Get friends that appreciate your cooking. I have a friend from my high school years. He's the best cook. He still posts stuff on Facebook, and I'm just like, stop. I want your food. And my best friend's a really good cook too. She's awesome too. Between the two of them, you wonder why? No, I don't. I don't ever get to eat their cooking anymore. I have to eat my own. Which obviously isn't too bad. It's sustainable. My daughter did say my turkey was the best. I have turkey down, I think. I think I have turkey down. The last two or three turkeys I've made have been just amazing. Even if I do say so myself, because I like a good turkey. Full Wolverine says, NTA, your closest friends don't sound like good friends at all. That is the truth. Yeah, if your friends don't like your cooking and you're cooking stuff like chicken marsala and gnocchi soup, your friends don't know what they're talking about. They want chicken tenders. Like they have no palate. Find some friends with some palate. You can still keep your friends, just don't feed them anymore. Make them buy you food. This is from Overheard. Your total is 6666. This triggers some people. It really does. Well, it shouldn't because it's not 666. In line at Trader Joe's, the woman in front of me was checking out, and the cashier told her the total. Cashier, your total is 6666, lady. Oh my gosh. Cashier laughing. Would you like to buy something else? The lady picked up a candy cane. I'll take one of these. You should never take the chance. I had not one, but two customers where I used to work that had credit cards. Like the security code was 666 on both of them. I used to tease them a lot. I'm not surprised. I would be surprised if there isn't somebody out there that would have sent those cards back because they wouldn't want that for their security code. Obviously, these people were reasonable. One time, B. Carey says one time my total came to exactly $100 at Walmart. 33 items. It was self checkout. I had to show someone, so I got the guy in line behind me to show him. He was not as impressed as I was. I'm impressed if it just comes out to like an even dollar. Yogurt closet says so he downvoted you in public. Carey says, "Ha ha." He more so just scrolled past. Was very nonplussed. Scarlet Witch Moon says he was definitely jealous because his 33 items came out to $153. Oh, that's funny. That's why I live for Reddit. Reddit's a great. All right, and now we have more not safe for work. I don't even know why they did that. This is from Bye Bye Job, and it says a gym teacher placed on administrative leave after repeated sex with pupil 14 and then stalking boy using fake phone number when he dumped her. Oh my goodness. The teacher's predatory behavior was revealed when the student reported her to the school counselor. The gym teacher uh oh good. They actually used the correct word for this. Gym teacher has been accused of sickening sexual abuse after allegedly raping a vulnerable student on multiple occasions for over a year. The student was just 14 years at the time. Has been left afraid to walk home alone from school after he claimed she stalked him following their breakup. He was 28. Oh no, that's a different person, maybe. I'm so confused. Oh, she's the abuser. Teresa Wallen is the abuser. That's a twist. So Wallen was arrested on Monday after her alleged victim reported the relationship to a school counselor. 3 charges: suspicion of sexual assault on a child, um, internet exploitation of a child, and stalking. She's a gym teacher. She looks 14. I'm not going to show her picture, but she looks 14 herself. She does not look 28. He was, of course, a troubled teen, and that's why he was preyed on. Because the vulnerable are the ones that get preyed on. The ones with good relationship with their families don't. So another reason to have a good relationship with your kid to protect them from predators. She admitted that she had been in a sexual relationship with him. Nude photos, making fake phone numbers to call him. The boy reported self-harm and struggling with his mental health. Poor kid. The gym teacher described the relationship as dating. You don't date 28-year-olds do not date 14-year-olds. Teachers don't date students. Oh, he looks like a little kid, if that's him. Police allege the warped teacher struggled with a breakup after the student ceased contact. Wow. She's currently in custody being held on a $50,000 bond. That's good. She's been employed by the district since 2021, so 4 years, 4+ years. They're trying to find a long-term substitute. They should just replace her. Just fire her. Why is she on administrative leave? Why is she not fired? Because she's been arrested. And I know that everybody says guilty until, or innocent until proven guilty, but that's only in court. That doesn't include the investigation. That doesn't include anything with her job. That doesn't include anything but in the courtroom during the trial. Believe it or not, that's what it means. She also has been charged. Oh, a 26-year-old teacher was charged for having a relationship with a 16-year-old student after telling a colleague about it. What are you doing, you idiots? Jocelyn Santorum is facing felony charge of third-degree criminal sexual conduct. Elsewhere, a married teacher from Indiana allegedly asked 3 underage boys to do her while wearing a scream mask. Where are these women coming from all of a sudden? Oh my goodness. That's horrendous. I can't even imagine. Like, what are they thinking? Like, you've been to college, know all the rules. There's no excuse for this kind of behavior. No excuse. This is why we need to put these people in jail for life when they do this. Hopefully, as a deterrent for other people doing it. It's who wants to be sitting in jail for life. And I don't do the death penalty. I want those people to suffer as long as they made their victims suffer. Sorry, I gotta calm down. Really hate child predators. Can't stand them. This is from Am I Overreacting? Entitled AIO for Be My Upset. This is literally what it says. AIO for Be My Upset. My boyfriend ate all my snacks. I think they mean am I overreacting for being upset? My boyfriend ate all my snacks. And no, they're not. And here is the text. There's got to be a text. There's always a text. So someone else's things, you can take them being upset over it. I don't care. I'd love to spend $10 to $15 whenever I want and not get you anything and bitch at you when you do. The fact is, it's the fact too at I went out of my way to get you what you wanted last night and you ate my donut sticks and my cookies and my Cheez-Its. It's too much, Joshua. That's gluttony and it's a sin. You are an adult with self-control. Jesus effing Christ should have put them up and not left them out. Don't eat things that you didn't buy, people. It's very simple. Don't eat things that you didn't buy without asking. I mean, if you ask, it's fine, but only if they say yes. I do get upset, like when I'm looking forward to something and I know where it's at and where it's saved, and I go look for it and it's not there. Oh, it's infuriating. People don't seem to understand. Just ask first. I'll probably let you eat it. I just want to make sure. I just want to know it's not there. So when I really, really want it and it's not there, I'm not upset. Ooh. I work at a gas station and usually buy my boyfriend snacks every shift. Last night was no different. I got him exactly what he wanted and some snacks for myself. I don't eat all my snacks in one sitting. In fact, I just had opened them before I got tired and went to bed. Today, all my snacks are gone. This is a screenshot from my conversation with my partner of mine. He insisted I'm dogging him out for expressing my boundaries and being left upset that he ate all of my snacks without even bothering to ask or replace them. Am I overreacting? Particular one says, I feel like when you're at the point of putting boyfriend in quotes in the relationship is over one way or the other. Turkey Britches says, he lives in her house and she can't get him to leave. Bet you $20. Probably. Feed me cookies says, gluttony is a sin, is taking me out. Should have put them up and not let them out is the type of solution when someone would suggest when a toddler or a dog has gotten into your snacks, not a grown ass man. 100%. Front Cat says, not overreacting. My ex husband ate all the special foods I got our autistic kids who were so skinny that CPS was circling and then blamed me because he got fat. What an idiot. I'm glad he's your ex. Somebody answered, this made me so mad that I came back to this thread after clicking out just to make sure you had said ex husband. And Front Cat answers, I'm sorry for sharing the trauma. I got the kids out eventually, but had to teach them to hide their needed food. Still, as adults, they have disordered eating from the scarcity. It's still a struggle when food prices are colossal and wages are not. PTSD is an unrelenting monster. When I left my ex finally, he went on a sort of hunger strike and exercise obsession to punish me and guilt me into returning because he doesn't eat at all anymore. See? His last words at me last Thanksgiving. Spoiler alert, I'm feeding his kids again now. Oh, for Pete's sake. Now we have Best of Redditor updates, which is one of my favorites. It's entitled My Girlfriend Told Me About Some Mean Pranks She Did to a Slower Kid in High School. We already read this. Is it a red flag even though it was a few years ago? This was yeah, in relationship advice. I am 99% sure that we read this already. Maybe not. Where did we read this? I don't know. I wonder if I screwed up and read it yesterday. Oh, nope, we did read it. Oh, that was dumb. How did we do that? No, that was supposed to be there. Okay. Hmm. We don't do relationship advice. It had to be best of brother update, unless I read it on my own. It's possible. Yep. Okay. I think we read this one yesterday when we should have read this one. So we're gonna go back to this one. We messed up. Best of Redditor updates. I, 25 male, was caught using AI to write wedding vows, and partner 34 female walked out what to do. I know we haven't read this. I, 35 male, recently had a wedding with my partner 34 female. We had a stable, happy relationship so far. I love her more than anything in the world. The problem arose when it came to writing vows. Don't get me wrong, I love many things about my partner, but I couldn't figure out how to put them into tangible vows. I decided to use Chat GPT so I can have something well written and expressive to share at the ceremony. The thing about my partner is that she's very confrontational and no nonsense. If something annoys her, she immediately addresses it with no room for backing out. I also know that she's expressed disdain for the AI in the past, but I didn't realize how far the hatred could go. I don't know how, but she immediately recognized that the vows were AI. After I finished, she had this angry look and whispered to me, did you use effing AI to write that? I was quiet because I couldn't believe she had noticed and she was choosing to address it while we were on full display for everyone. She said that I either speak from the heart or she walks out. I literally couldn't get any words out. She kept her promise and walked back down the aisle, much to all of our friends' confusion. She's been ghosting me for the past few days, which is atypical for her and honestly gives me panic attacks. Most people agreed that calling off marriage because of AI vows was an overreaction. Yeah. And maybe it was a sign that our relationship could have issues, but a few female friends have said that they would have done the same. I'm hurt and honestly, I just needed help to make the day more special. Is it worth fixing? honestly, some people just need help with what they want to say. And there's nothing wrong with, I mean, in times past, you would go to a friend or something to help you write it. Now we have a computer to help us write it. It's not that big a deal. Edit same post 10 hours later. Okay, I screwed up. I didn't check this post for a while because I wanted more points of view instead of just getting torn to shreds, but I understand why the situation is worse than I thought. I've been trying to contact my partner's family to see if I can talk to her again, but apparently she's staying out of state with her sister. I'm going to tell her when she gets back what I heard here, that I understand, and I'm also going to write new vows without AI and bring her favorite flowers and snacks. I still want her to know that I love her and I know her, and I will post an update when I can. Thank you all. Even if some feedback could have been a tad more nicely put. Some of OOP's comments, some of the comments on the original post, I think is what he meant. Power World Thrills, did you write this with AI too, bud? Come on, you could have been talking from the heart. OP, and this is downvoted. No, I could write this just fine. For the vows, it was different because I wanted them to be perfect, and there was just a lot I wanted to say that I ended up not being able to say anything. Lady Beatneck, editor's note, this user has a long awarded comment. It's too long for this post, but I recommended reading it. I included parts of it here. I don't know why so many men, sometimes women too, but usually it's men, have this belief in the back of their heads that they have this overruling right to view their female partner where they can just ignore, dismiss whatever she wants or prefers as long as he thinks he's got a better idea, like she's a child and he's the parent and knows better. I don't see how that relates. Now we have you. She told me explicitly many times that she hates AI, but I felt like it wasn't a big deal that I needed it. So I just used it anyway for my wedding vows. And how can I show her she's overreacting? She's still not overreacting. You don't because she's not overreacting. Yes, she should. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. This is silly. It's silly. You disrespected her majorly. I don't believe that. I'll be downvoted. I don't care. You're not the victim here. You knew damn well what her reaction to you using AI would be and did it anyway because, again, you thought you knew better and that she wouldn't find out anyway. Again, like she's a spoiled child and you're her parent replacing her dead goldfish before she gets home from school. She deserves to marry a than to marry a man who thinks of her that way. And he says he didn't think she'd be able um, to tell right away, and that he didn't think it would be a deal breaker. Obviously, not the case. Mr. Magic Man 69 says, the thing is, this is a slippery slope. Once you get AI to do something as important as writing your wedding vows, you will even more easily be getting AI to reply to your text messages, creating apology messages, which you didn't write, at which point she might, but that's dumb. That's dumb. Why do people like extrapolate things that are going to happen in the future from one little incident? I don't get it. Advice Moy said, didn't you have an officiant? Ours offered to help us both individually with vows. Blah, blah, blah. I thought getting help from the officiant would be less authentic. I guess I took an even worse route without even realizing it. Melissa says, I'm skeptical. Most people told you that this is an overreaction. Let's see the vows. Pied Goose says, in vain I have struggled. It will not do. My feelings will not be repressed. You must allow me to tell you how ardently I admire and love you. In declaring myself thus, I'm fully aware that I will be going expressly against the wishes of my family and my friends, and I hardly need to add my own better judgment. Oh. Named Human says, I user have strong feelings for you out of object of affection such as love, admiration, and other feelings that express how you feel about you. Have I mentioned that the pro subscription is an offer right now and ChatGPT 5 is better in most ways? Just remember to delete the last part. Oh, okay. This is an update from November 9th, 2025, over 2 months later. Honestly, I wasn't planning to do an update after all because of how humiliating this entire situation has been. I didn't want to give more of a reason for people to rip me apart, but now that my story is posted on a popular YouTube channel, There probably won't be much of an escape route for me. There's no doubt people we know will find out now, so I wanted to give the short update everyone has been itching for. Um, what I said, I did what I said previously and told her about the Reddit post and how the replies gave me her perspective and that I was sorry. She ended up getting more angry about me posting our business, even though our names weren't mentioned, and she said she couldn't believe I needed online strangers to tell me why I was wrong. Also, apparently my mom was texting her about paying back all the wasted wedding money. She used that against me too, which I don't think is fair. I have no control over what my family does. Snacks and flowers didn't do much. She refuses to give me another chance, even after offering to go to couples counseling. So yeah, the wedding is never happening. This is over. Oh, that's sad. This has been the most horrendous time in my life. I've thought about giving up altogether. Meanwhile, she's posting about brunch with friends on her social media. It makes me wonder how she can move on so fast when I'm a wreck. People have accused me of not caring about her enough to write my own vows, yet the difference in our reactions to splitting up says the reverse. I hope you all are happy. Feel free to rub salt in the wound. I'm not coming back to this account. Karandi says the difference in your reaction says this was the final straw for her, and while you're still effing clueless. And somebody replied, he doesn't really get it. He decided that it wasn't worth his time or effort to write his own vows on his wedding day, so offloaded the subpar task to an AI assistant and now is mad that his fiance thinks he's a moron. He can say what he wanted them to be perfect all he wants, but the reality is that he couldn't be bothered to make a perfect on his own. Yeah, he wrote both in the past. And I mean, maybe it was an accumulation of things that, like, that was just a tipping point for her. It's possible. It is kind of weird that she's living her best life and he's still wallowing. It's okay to waddle too. It's okay to wallow. Regular Kahuna says, coming here straight from the video is insane. By the way, OP, this line absolutely took me out. Snacks and flowers didn't do much. Did you actually think it would? You're legitimately telling us that you, a 35-year-old, actually thought you could solve the fact that she publicly left you at the altar in the middle of a ceremony by bringing her snacks and flowers. That's a good point. This guy's probably just a child. Honestly, that tells me everything I need to know. I bet you didn't even bring her preferred snacks and bought your own favorites. Probably did. I had more to say, but it's clear you don't have the reading comprehension required for it to matter, so why bother? I can see why you needed AI's help. Somebody said, dude, paying back all the wasted money, wedding money, and I have no control over what my family does gives me all the information to say this. She dodged a bullet. Somebody answered this. It makes me think the fiance was also dealing with a nasty in-laws and a fiance not willing to stand up for her. I literally wrote the same thing about her dodging the bullet because of this and on another site where this was posted. This one's really popular, and I believe I've heard it before on somebody else's Reddit read thing on YouTube. Anon because of work says, I just keep thinking about how real, unpolished, authentic bullet point list of things you love about your partner would likely make for a charming wedding videos. Also thinking about how an actual coupley thing to do would be to work out together as a team to collaborate your vows so that you are matching each other in length, tone, balance, and seriousness / humor. I mean, maybe he couldn't have done that. Maybe she didn't even want to do that. Who knows? Maybe she said you should come up with something on your own. That happens. I've seen that happen. I've seen people write really silly vows too. And yeah, I definitely switched a day. That's really weird. I don't know what I did. Okay. Because that one was from yesterday. It was supposed to be done yesterday too. I did something stupid. I wasn't with it yesterday. This is from Made Me Smile, because we always have to end on Made Me Smile. Brother won at life, and the way she handed him the candy was another wholesome moment. So, Yesterday my sound was off, so that's probably why I didn't have sound yesterday on this. Okay. And share. And here we go.
O,
Mini
mama
candy.
viena gavo. Aš nieko negavau. Aš nieko. Tėtis negavo.
Little girl's already eaten a piece of candy because she had 2.
Aš nieko.
Oh. Oh, that's so sweet. Putting it up back under the cup and then putting it on his plate, putting the cup back down and then lifting it up for him. That's so sweet. Little kids are so sweet. I love little kids. All right, that's all I got for today. Thank you for being here. There's literally no one here. I don't know how many of those I repeated today. It's so weird. I don't remember any of these from yesterday. Remember that one. I don't remember any of those. And why are there 2? Am I overreacting? I don't know what was going on. It's dumb. All right, well, what I think I'm going to do is I'm moving Thursday to Wednesday because I am I will be late on Wednesday tomorrow. And I'm moving Friday to Thursday. And I'm going to take Friday off. And take Friday off, go Christmas shopping finally. Because I will have a car on Friday. My son doesn't work on Fridays. And his girlfriend works at home on Fridays, so I don't have to deal with that. I'll have my car for a little bit. And then we'll go back for them for another week and maybe another week. I don't know. It's insanity. And also, I will have the kids tomorrow, but it'll be earlier. And they're supposed to leave by like 1 or 2. So, or 2 or 3 or something. I can't remember what. So I'll be here hoping around 3 o'clock tomorrow, maybe as early as 2, maybe as late as 4. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Do you know what you're doing? Because I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I hope you have a lovely day. Bye, my biddies. Take care of yourselves. Behave and all that good stuff. Bye.